Onto a very disturbing story from Kerala, where a class 9 student from a scheduled caste background committed suicide by setting herself on fire in Kerala's Malappuram district. Her family alleges she was upset and disturbed about not being able to access her school classes online. Now, it seems there was a television at home, but that wasn't working. She needed that to be repaired, but that couldn't get done. Her father, who's a daily wager with hardly any source of income during the lockdown, has said, and her family has also seen another baby being born in the last few days, and that has strained them even further financially. Sneha joining us at this point with the latest on all of that. Now, Sneha, right now it seems many students in Kerala don't actually have access to online gadgets or television sets. The state yet talking about sort of online classes for all. Now, this particular incident, of course, is deeply disturbing, but, you know, on an overall scale, how does the state ensure that no child gets left behind?
Well, Ankita, the classes that have begun right now are the trial classes, is what the Chief Minister said during his press briefing. He said these classes will be repeated right after 1 week all over again, and this is to see what the initial responses on the ground would be. The Chief Minister has also said that there have been different measures in place. One, to ensure that there are sponsors which are being brought on board to ensure that people who do not have access, especially students, can be given access to either community televisions. And we've also reported from one of the community television centers about how there were groups of 5 to 10 students who were brought together from a particular area so they could listen to the classes together, even though they did not have access by themselves. But these are all measures which are just being worked on. It's not something which has been completely done. There's also government bodies which have been brought on board to ensure that such facilities can be delivered to people who require them. There are an estimated 2.5 lakh people or students right now don't have access to the information technology or gadgets that would be required. Kerala has something called the Victor's Education Channel, and that is a channel which is primarily giving out all the classes, and that is through television medium, which can also be downloaded later on to online, but around 2.5 lakh students don't really have access to some form or the other to be able to make the use of this particular facility which is being given out. CM education authorities in Kerala repeatedly saying that they are working towards to ensure people, social groups, local self-body groups, Kudumbashree groups are brought in to ensure that the gap can be bridged. But this latest case that has come up, and that is today, happened late afternoon yesterday, where a teenager, she would be just about 13, 14, 15 years old, she's just got into class 9, committed suicide by burning herself. The family who had severe financial constraints. The father is, who's also the only breadwinner for the family, is a daily wager. His wages were completely fixed because of the lockdown that we have been facing in India due to the COVID-19 threat, and the television could not be repaired. The mother just recently delivered a baby. So with all of these things, the challenge really was being seen. The family has said the child was extremely worried that she would miss out on classes. The family has also said the child was extremely bright and focused a lot on the studies, even when the child could not have books of her own in the past. She's borrowed books and she has studied. That's what one of the teachers also mentioned. So this is perhaps just an indication of what the situation could be, not perhaps for majority of India, but for a lot of people in India who are finding it difficult to make a transition from what would be regular classes to now what is being seen as online classes temporarily.